Hey guys, this is Anthony Romrell, and in this video we're going to talk about cameras and CineMachine. So to get things started, the first thing we need to do is get CineMachine installed. So we're going to go to our package manager and Unity Registry and CineMachine and hit install. If it says remove, that means it's there, don't remove it. And it'll take just a minute to load it all up. As soon as the sequence is done, it'll be installed. Okay. And now that that's installed, we can get this to work with our camera. So to add a CineMachine camera, we're going to right click. We're going to go to CineMachine, Targeted Cameras, and 2D Camera. Now you're going to see that our main camera is now moved a bit, and it is not necessarily behaving the way we want it to. And that's okay. But we have this CineMachine camera now, and there's some things that we're going to want to change, right? So the first thing is we want our camera rotation to go back to being 0, right? And then its position should be fine based on where it was before. We want it to follow our character though. So you can see we've got our CineMachine camera and it has a couple things to it. So it says position control, and we have a position composer. We have a follow, which we'll just do that, follow. And what do we want to follow? We want to follow our little guy. So we're going to say tracking target, and we're going to put our our character mover to the tracking target. Right? And now you can see that the camera is focused in on our character. So now when we push play, I don't have enough level, but you can see I've got a pretty great little camera that's going to follow me around wherever. Right? Well, as long as I have room for it to go. So there's some things that we could do to take more control over our camera, and I want you to play around with that. But in the end, basically the camera's going to go wherever we're not restricted. So we're going to have to add some restrictions to our character, right? So we're going to want to box out a world for our character to be confined in. But we could also say that our camera has some things that it's confined to. So we have some movement things that we can take care of. So if we want to add any kind of restrictions to our camera and our character, a pretty straightforward way to do it would be to create an empty object, and we'll just call this one wall, or let's call this one edge. And we can restrict our character with this edge. So we can't see anything on here, but we could add a box collider. So we're going to go to component, add component, and we're just going to type in box. Remember, don't do 2D. And then we'll just visually move it. So we'll say, you know what? This is going to be at the very top. We're not going to go past, our character's not going to go past this invisible area. And of course, we can have artwork there too, right? And then we'll just simply adjust the size. So in X, let's just say that the size of this is 10, right? Maybe a little bigger, 15. And if wherever we have this restriction, it's going to cut us off, right? Probably bigger than this. Let me just type 0 in X here, and we'll make the size of this quite a bit bigger, 30. Okay, now here's the first obvious restriction, is that, it's not going to work because we've got to configure our layers. So we're just going to call this part of our level. So this is going to be on the level layer. And now our player will hit against an invisible object that it can't go through, right? Okay, the next thing we can do is control the dampening of the camera. So we can come to the camera and say, you know what? Let's put this a 10 in X and a 10 in Y. And this is going to slow the camera the way it follows us, the rate, right? So you can see it takes that camera a lot longer to catch up with us. So those are two ways we can configure the camera. Now, you could see that having it just stop in space is a little weird. So we ought to put the edge in a little different location, right? But or some artwork to back it up is probably the next best thing. So to conclude, what we'd like you to do with the camera is expand your world, create some more limits, and have your level be a little bigger and broader than it has been for your and do this for your final game, right? Hopefully you've enjoyed the course, you've enjoyed making cool things, and this is just one addition to help you along that path.